Okay, we're back again with our coffee mug that we're going to laser engrave. In the first video, we went ahead and we modeled this in 3D and got some of our parts separated. And the reason we separated those parts is that's going to make our next step, which we're going to do here, our rendering, much easier. So what we are going to do is go up to the perspective viewport, click on the arrow, and change to render. Okay, when we do that, we notice it looks kind of funky, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some color, texture, some background images to it to make this look somewhat photorealistic. And we're going to do this on just our plain coffee mug before we add our artwork in. So we're going to go over here to our tabs, and we have this one that looks like a paint tube that if we hover over it says materials. We're going to click on that. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the outside first. So I'm going to select the outside, hold shift, select the handle. And I'm going to go over here to the little plus, click on that. In this case, even though it's not plastic, I'm going to do plastic because that gives us a few more options in terms of what we want it to look like. So I'm going to click plastic. I'm doing the black coffee mug. So I'm going to go here to color, click the down arrow, and then color picker. And scroll up, and I'm going to select black. Hit OK. And then these three lines up here, I have to click on that menu and click Assign to Objects. You notice when I do that, our outside of our mug and the handle turns black. But we notice it's fairly shiny compared to what ours actually looks like. So I can come over here and I can change the reflectivity, I can change the clarity a little bit, make it look a little bit more of a matte finish, which is kind of what it has. I probably don't want to change transparency. I probably don't need to change bump texture, but you might play with reflectivity and clarity as you do that. Now, if you have a different color mug, we can go color picker, and you can either pick a color on here that's fairly close to it, or like there's a light blue. We can go out here on the color wheel, and we can kind of pick and move around here a little bit until we get one that looks like what it is that we want. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that you can get there. And you might find one here that's right on, but you also might need to come out here and play around on the color wheel until we get it just right. I'm going to hit cancel to leave mine black. Okay, whoops, sorry about that. And then when we exploded this earlier and joined certain sections together, we did that because if this was all joined as one, you see it changes everything, okay? When we did different sections, that allows us to select different sections and add a different color or texture. Now the inside, this already looks white, but we're going to go ahead and make sure that it stays white. So we're going to click plus, down here to plastic. This can be plastic 2. We can rename that if we want. We could call that white. For color, I'm going to go color picker. Go up here to the very top to white. Hit OK. And then the three lines, click on that. Assign to objects. You notice it changed it just a little bit. Okay. Again, you might want to play with the reflectivity, the clarity a little bit. Probably don't need to do anything with texture. So the inside's white, this is white. Now the bottom stays white. In order to make that black, we would have to do an offset. We're not going to see the bottom in what we're doing, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, so we've just rendered our coffee mug. But now we want to make it look like it's sitting on a countertop or a table. So I'm going to go over here to the rendering tab, which is this blue circle with a hand on it. Click on that. And there's a couple ways that we could do that. Okay, we could add some different environments, but I think the easiest and most straightforward is if we go here where it says ground plane and click on settings. And again, there's different ways we could achieve this. We're going to click on settings. We're going to use a material. Go down here to type. More types at the bottom. Click on the folder. And then it gives us a bunch of different options here where we could click through here and find something that we like. I'm going to pretend like it's a wood table that it's sitting on. So I'm going to click on wood, And let's see. Oh, bamboo. Maybe we have a bamboo countertop. So we'll click on bamboo, hit open. You can see it just added this bamboo texture. And now it looks like our coffee mug is sitting on something. We can see the reflection. We can see that that's nice and shiny. Now maybe we need to change how it looks a little bit. We could do that if we need to. And all I'm doing is changing the size, and that changes kind of how that looks to make it a little bit more realistic. Okay? We hit OK. Now we've got our coffee mug. It's rendered. We can see it sitting on something. We can rotate it a little bit if we want, depending on how we want the lighting. You could go in and play with the lighting, but we're not going to get to that. So there is our rendered coffee mug. Our next step will be to unroll this and figure out what artwork we're going to put on it.